Is your dog nice? Are you ah! Shots fired, I just shot a dog. She was coming at me, dude!
American Pit Bull Terriers were once an iconic American breed. They were American military mascots, advertising stars, and popular farm and family dogs. But when dogfighters criminally exploited the breed's loyalty, tenacity, and bold nature, the Pitty's reputation took a hit. From there, their reputation has gone here.
Shoot it!
2 dogs responsible for a horrific tragedy.
Unleashed dogs attacked 2 elementary school children.
Young girl was viciously attacked by a pit bull.
Pit bulls. Pit bulls.
And pit bulls.
Pit bulls.
On one side, you have people saying that American Pit Bull Terriers are so gentle and cuddly that they could look after children. On the other, you have those who say that pit bulls are inherently aggressive. Let me make it clear here. Today in this video, we're talking about the American Pit Bull Terrier. Normally, Pitbull Dogs is an umbrella term used to cover the following 5 breeds: American Pitbull Terrier, American Staffordshire Terrier, Staffordshire Bull Terrier, American Bully, and sometimes American Bulldog. But today, it's all about the American Pit Bull Terrier. According to a Time magazine article, quote, "Pit bulls make up only 6% of the dog population, but they're responsible for 68% of dog attacks and 52% of dog-related deaths since 1982. Whether you agree with this or not, there's no disputing that American Pit Bull Terriers have a bad rep. They're dramatically associated with being aggressive, dangerous, and being one of the deadliest dog breeds in the world. How true is that statement? The American Pit Bull Terrier, a mix between Bulldogs and Terriers, was first brought to the US from Staffordshire, England, back in the late 1800s, a whopping 100 years before they were given the unofficial title of being a nanny dog, a title that claims they protect and play with children as a nanny would do. During World War I, they were seen as symbols of courage and as national mascots. So, what happened? Why are they called aggressive dogs? Sweeping generalizations are usually to be taken with a grain of salt, but a lot of the facts do not lie. If you judge it by the severity of aggressive behavior when it does occur and the frequency of aggressive behavior, then that reputation isn't that unearned. Let's go back to their history. The modern American Pit Bull Terrier can trace its history back to the early 1800s in the United Kingdom. Pit Bull-type dogs were originally bred from Old English Bulldogs, who gained their popularity on the British Isles in a cruel blood sport known as bull baiting. 1 to 2 bulldogs were set to harass a bull for hours until the animal collapsed from fatigue, injuries, or both. These matches were held for the entertainment of the struggling classes, a source of relief from the tedium of hardship. Blood sports were outlawed in 1835 in the UK, so rat baiting and dog fighting, which were easier to hide from police, became the new sports of popularity. Bulldogs were crossed with terriers and then released into a pit to chase and kill rats or fight one another, thus beginning the pit bull type of dog. Love them or hate them, pit bulls have always been known for their willingness to please. They excel in anything they're trained to do. When they're trained to be aggressive, they turn out to be aggressive. A powerful bite that can tear through bone is part of pit bulls' reputation as well. It's been said that they have one of the most powerful bites. Add that to their muscular build, and pit bulls have been dubbed thugs and have sat at the foot of many a gangster movie.
Big dog in the place to be. Pit Bull.
Every so often, news articles come out about them. You hear about maulings, about vicious attacks that end up with hurt and disfigured victims, about pit bulls jumping through fences, in one case to bite one woman's thumb off, and so on. As an accumulation of all of this breed has some serious regulations on its existence. American Pit Bull Terriers are outright banned in over 20 countries, including Singapore, Italy, New Zealand, and Australia. If not banned, then they have some serious regulations over them, such as requiring a license to own and a law about muzzling them while out in public. Some countries limit them to 1 or 2 pit bulls per household. All of that said, what does the other side of the spectrum look like? suspend your disbelief for a moment and the other facts. One of the most notable defenders of the American Pitbull Terrier breed is none other than the American Temperament Test Society, even if they hadn't meant to. The series of temperament tests, which spanned 12 minutes, tested their aggressiveness, shyness, stability, friendliness, self-preservation, and protective instincts towards their handlers under threat. The pit bulls were exposed to visual, auditory, and tactile stimuli. During those 12 minutes, handlers are not allowed to talk to the dog. They would fail if they showed unprovoked aggression or a panicked without recovery response or avoidance. American pit bulls? They passed with flying colors. A jaw-dropping 87.4% of the dogs passed the test, which is more impressive than you think. They were the second most tolerant breed behind golden retrievers. The least tolerant? Chihuahuas. Those little bats. Never mind. Picture that, the so-called dangerous breed ranking almost as much as the lovable golden retriever. The powerful bite thing is a misconception as well. A pit bull's bite is nothing to a Rottweiler's bite. In fact, before they got such a bad reputation, it was Rottweilers and Dobermans who were called the most dangerous dog breeds in the world. Owners of American pit bulls describe their dogs as one of the cuddliest breeds in existence, probably why the Nanny dog label found them. The same intelligence that allowed bloody sports such as bear baiting and dog fighting allows them to become fast learners and professionals with training. After all, the most decorated dog in military history was a pit bull called Sergeant Stubby, who attended 17 World War I battles and whose job was to find injured soldiers and warn troops of poison gas. Even back during the peak of the underground fighting, pit bulls were still kept as companions and had thriving guardians, hunting, and herding careers. Their high energy levels are being put to use in dog sports such as agility and search and rescue dogs, service dogs, and therapy dogs. Still, even if pit bull's reputation is on the mend, between 19% and 32% of dogs taken to shelters are pit bulls. The time they spent there is 3 times as much as other breeds. We have seen many vintage photos of children and families with pit bull terriers. As for the term nanny dogs, many people argue against it, but only for the reason that technically, no dog should be considered a nanny dog. It's said that both children and dogs are ill-equipped to be left alone and unsupervised in the first place. People often say the way a pit bull behaves depends on his owner and upbringing, which is really true for any pet. This is a situation where nature versus nurture comes into play. Pit bull terriers can be extremely dangerous if mishandled or forced to act in a certain way. It will retaliate if abused, ignored, or mistreated. Pit bulls are easy to teach, but like all other pets, they must be trained properly. If you raise them with love and kindness, they will be nice towards you and other animals. Assess these dogs individually, not as a group.